Hi, it's Eva Cartman, and you're listening to the Dream Big podcast show, the place to go to learn, laugh, and grow. Today we welcome Ryan Carson, who's going to share how you can have all the success you ever dreamed of and still manage to have wonderful, fulfilling relationships with your friends and family. This is episode 83, Big Dreamers, and it's time to dream big.
Welcome to the Dream Big podcast show. We're inspiring you to shoot for the moon, take aim and go. We bring to you amazing guests who truly love what they do. Every day they're living their dreams, and so can you. Dream big, take action to reach your goals. Are you pumped yet? It's showtime, let's rock and roll.
Welcome to the Dream Big podcast show. I am your host, Eva Cartman. And today, I'd like to start by turning it over to my mom for a quick word about a very exciting course that we are creating.
Thank you, Eva. Yes, this message is especially to the parents who are listening. And kids, please make sure your parents hear this message. We are creating an amazing course for our big dreamers between the ages of 4 and 13. The course will include materials taught by Eva about key personal development principles, such as developing self-confidence, practicing gratitude, implementing the productivity strategies your children need to learn to turn their big dreams into the reality. We also get asked by all our friends and family and even members of our audience about our top parenting tips, as everyone is so impressed with what Eva is accomplishing with the podcast. If you would like to receive our initial set of these online course materials that we're developing, then please go to dreambigpodcast.com/survey. That's dreambigpodcast.com/survey to fill out a short survey. For the first 100 people only, we will be sharing the initial lessons we have developed, which includes engaging video lessons as well as accompanying worksheets. We are going to be over-delivering in a huge way on this course. I can't even put into words how excited we are because we truly believe it will be a game changer for our young big dreamers. These principles are not taught in school, and all the feedback we get all the time from our listeners who connect with Eva, that they love to hear from her because she is their peer. If you're interested, it only takes 5 minutes of your time, and we know it's valuable. That's why we appreciate it. We're not selling anything at this time. It's free to participate, and we will be happy to reward you with videos when they come. Thank you so much for participating, and we'll look forward to our responses at dreambigpodcast.com/survey.
Thanks, Mom. I'm so excited about the course we are creating as well. It is going to be amazing, and I'm so excited we are going to make this big dream a reality. It's time for you now to enjoy our discussion with Ryan Carson, the CEO and founder of Treehouse, an online technology school that takes people from zero experience to job ready in as little as 6 months. What I love about Ryan is that although he is incredibly successful and runs a multi-million-dollar company, he makes his family the number one priority and has mastered the idea of work-life balance. What is also so cool is that his big dream is helping his students at Treehouse get the skills they need to achieve their big dreams as well. As of the time of this publication, Treehouse currently has a library of 222 courses with over 27,545 minutes of video learning and over 180,000 students. How cool is that? As always, we have show notes at dreambigpodcast.com/83, where we will include links to everything we discuss in the interview. Without further ado, here's our interview with Ryan. Let's roll the tape. Hi, Ryan.
Hey, it's so good to be on the show. Thank you.
We're so excited that you're here.
Thank you for joining us.
I can't wait.
You know, you've started a number of successful websites, and the one we'll be talking about most today is your current project called Treehouse. I'm
Right.
curious what attracted you to the internet and got you excited about it.
So I was really lucky to have parents who had a computer in the house. And so I messed around with the computer when I was younger. I don't think I was quite your age, but I was younger. And then I was even more lucky because I had a teacher in high school who said, Ryan, would you like to be able to control computers? And I was like, yes, please. And she said, well, that's called programming. So do you want to learn that? And I said, you bet. So started to learn programming, and then I was lucky to go to college and study computer science. And now I run a school with 80,000 students. So that's the story.
Wow.
That's very, very impressive. And with nowadays, all the education is getting more and more online because it's so super convenient. And we're going to talk a little bit about that as well. But we would like to talk about this overnight success, what they call it, right? You just mentioned, Ryan, that you created something incredible, 80,000 students, but I'm sure it was not overnight. And as our big dreamers are listening right now, they, I'm sure, have dreams to run a successful company or maybe work for a successful company one day. Can you please share what do you mean by overnight success when you talk about it, and why it really takes years to build that overnight success?
You bet. This is so important to understand. So I got this idea, way back in 2004, and it's now 2018. So that was, 14 years ago that I thought this maybe was a good idea. And it's definitely not been an overnight success, which is funny. And I just want to encourage all of you big dreamers out there that it takes time, and that's okay. Because I think you hear about big successes like, Elon Musk just launched this huge rocket. And we're going to go to Mars someday. And Jeff Bezos, who runs Amazon, appears to be, doing an amazing job. And Sheryl Sandberg, helps run Facebook. And it seems like all these successful people knew that they were going to be successful, and they also did it quickly. And it's basically an illusion because we only find out about these people once they've worked really, really, really hard for a long time. And then all of a sudden it appears that they're famous overnight. And Treehouse has been the same for me. Now more and more people are hearing about Treehouse. They're learning how to code on Treehouse, and they're getting jobs because of that. But it's actually taken me 14 years to figure that out. And many times I wanted to quit. And many times I felt like I didn't know what I was doing, and I wasn't the best person, to lead this company. And that is the way everybody feels. So don't feel bad if you feel like you can't do something, or other people are smarter than you, or other people figure it out faster than you, because the truth is everybody who's doing something that's amazing started off knowing nothing. And that's the way it works.
Yeah, and like Ryan said, big dreamers, achieving your big dreams is not going to be easy, and it's definitely not going to happen overnight. And that is like 1% out of 100 that it's going to happen.
Amen. Yep.
And usually when someone achieves success, that's after years and years of ups and downs and sometimes failures until you finally get to a tipping point where this success comes.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
So, Ryan, could you please share the mission, the real mission behind Treehouse? You mentioned about the coding. We mentioned about how many students you have, that it's not overnight. I'm a course creator myself. I know how long it takes for the whole process and put it all together. And most importantly, for your students to achieve success. So can you please share with us the mission about the Treehouse?
You bet. So basically, I was lucky to go to college and get a computer science degree. And then I got a job. And then I realized I did not need that computer science degree to be successful at my job. And it was kind of shocking. I thought, wait a minute. I thought the road to success was, going to college and getting a degree. And I just found that my everyday activities were not what I learned in college. So it struck me. Something's wrong here. And I want to try to fix it. So I wanted to start a school that basically is affordable, accessible, and effective. So, you can go to school online. You don't have to, stop your life and put it on hold. You could do it, while your kids are sleeping, or while you are on recess, or while you're, at lunch. It's school you can fit in around the edges of your life, but that school had to give you the skills to actually get a job. And we've built Treehouse to do that. The idea is there's going to be 1.3 million new jobs in technology in the next 10 years, but only 400,000 of them are going to be filled by college graduates. So there's a 900,000 job hole where people can get those jobs and they don't have to go to college. So I started it to give all those people a chance and an affordable way to do that without getting student debt.
That's very interesting because Eva, you're not that far from going to college, right?
Yeah, it's
and then
about.
maybe she'll never go to college.
Maybe not.
Still, it's about 10 years away.
Right.
But one of the amazing things about today's world is that you can learn practically anything online.
Absolutely.
So you can find someone teaching on YouTube about what you want to be taught. And since college is about 10 years away, then I
still have a long
I still have like a long way to figure things
Maybe
out.
you'll create a course by the time you finish your school.
Exactly.
And,
Yeah.
Well, the interesting thing is we're finding that you can learn almost anything online. My wife, she has just taught herself how to do fashion design, and now she's literally making her own clothes. And she learned it all online. And I think, Eva, what I want to say to you is you're entering a totally different world than the one your mom and I went through, where you really couldn't get these skills any other way. But now you can basically learn a skill online and then stack it on top of other skills. And if you have a foundation of, basically being a kind person, being helpful, you can learn almost anything. And most jobs in the future are going to be about what you can do versus where you went to school. So I'm not saying don't go to college. I'm not anti-college, but I'm just pro-person. I'm pro-job.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And then with online education, you can always find classes that are fun.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
Treehouse.
Exactly.
Ryan, the Treehouse website says that over 222 courses are now offered on the site, and there's been over 180,000 students who have taken the Treehouse courses. And you've already accomplished so much, but I'm kind of curious, what's your big dream for Treehouse? I mean, you've done so much, but what's in the future for Treehouse?
And where do you see it 10 years from now, let's say?
Yeah.
Great question. So what's interesting is that I'm excited to run Treehouse for decades and decades from now, which I think a lot of people are feeling the pressure to start a company and then turn it into $1 billion company and then sell it, within 5 years. And I'm actually excited about running Treehouse for the rest of my life. And I think that gives me time to think long term. So I'm excited about, 10, 20, 30 years from now, building a school that truly empowers millions of people to get jobs. And I think the people are my why, the reason why I get up every day. So I get up at 4:30 a.m. every day to work hard. And it's because I feel like my day-to-day work is actually changing people's lives. So I think we're going to build a school that allows people to get jobs with no student debt, and we're going to change millions of people's lives. So that's what I'm excited about.
No student debt is the key to our big dreamers' parents, I would
Right.
say.
Yeah.
You have to listen to it carefully because honestly, it's so hard to send your child to college, and then once they're there, we parents think, finally, right? But for them, the journey just begun, And
Right.
for them, all the debt, and me and Alexi, we're still only 8 years old, but we're thinking like, we have to make sure that she finishes college if she'll ever go to college, right? Or one
Right.
of the schools, but without any debt, because it's such a pressure. It's just not fun for kids to graduate from college and then half of their life pay for what they got. And they don't even know if they're gonna use it like 100% or not.
I know.
So,
It's pretty brutal. So the reality is that the average person finishes school with tens of thousands of dollars of debt, and that comes out to about $300 per month that you have to pay in student debt fees, and it usually takes people 20 years to pay it off. So the reality is that keeps people from saving money for retirement. And it keeps them from, making mortgage payments and owning a house. And it's really this knock-on effect. And so I'm just encouraging people to rethink that idea, that maybe you could actually get a job, being a carpenter or being an electrician or being a developer or making music, or there's so many jobs you could do that pay well that you just don't need to go to college for. So just putting it out there for people to consider that.
And we keep saying again and again for our big dreamers, don't just think that the job that only popular will get you far in life, right? We have so many incredible stories from people following their dreams and finding what they truly want, and finding their passion and then pursuing that and then becoming successful in what they do. So it doesn't have to be only a job that everyone said, oh, you have to be a lawyer, you have to be like this or that. So
Right.
make sure you find what you're passionate about and pursuing that rather than making something that's popular.
Exactly. There was a story I just came across. There was a woman here in Portland that is a carpenter, and she specialized in teaching carpentry to other women so they could get jobs. And she spent her whole time empowering them to teach them, and that allowed them to change their lives. So this idea even that women, don't do interesting jobs like carpentry or electrical work or coding, it just isn't true anymore. And Eva, I want you to hear that for sure, that there isn't any limit to what you can do as a woman. And the whole script is being rewritten on that. And, that woman who's a carpenter is extremely happy. She's giving back to others. She makes great money. She works with her hands. She creates things. And, she didn't need a degree to do that. So something to think about.
And what kind of jobs do your students get, Brian?
So the jobs they get are what we call a developer, and that is someone who creates things using code. So any app that you use on your phone or your computer was created by a developer. And it sounds kind of weird, like what does that mean and what is it? But basically it's like writing a screenplay. So it's like writing a story. You use words, you write text, and you create something that actually works out of that. And it's really fun. It's not computer science at all. It's more like creative writing.
Yeah, and what age are most of your students? How old do you have to be to get into the Treehouse
app? I would say most of our students are high school and above. We kind of specialize in that. There's a lot of really good free resources if you're younger. I would encourage everyone to check out code.org, code.org. It's a free way to learn coding if you're a kid. And then as soon as you try it and you think it's fun and interesting, then you can start Treehouse when you're about, I don't know, I'd say like anywhere 12 plus. And we actually teach you how to build real apps.
Wow.
We just had a guest, Eva, who also mentioned about code.org.
Yeah.
The lady who is doing all the coding and everything. So I forgot, I'm just blanking on her name, but Big Dreamers, we will include links in our show notes so you can go back and listen to that episode about women and coding and everything. So that totally relates.
Yeah.
Great.
And Ryan, you've made Treehouse such a great place to work, and most of our young big dreamers have parents that work Monday through Friday, 5 days a week. But I heard with Treehouse, you actually started like a 4-day work week. So the employees get a 3-day weekend to spend with their kids and family and friends. Can you share why you see this perk as actually helping versus hurting the productivity?
Sure. So we had an idea that people could get their work done in less time. And it's really interesting because we allow people to work 4 10-hour days so they can have that Friday off if they want. And a lot of people do that. So we're trying to give people flexibility to do their work. And we especially want to give people flexibility to do things like pick up their kids from school. So we have a lot of mothers that work at Treehouse. We have a lot of fathers who work at Treehouse who all want to be able to pick up their kids after school or drop them off. So we want to give people a lot of flexibility on that. So I love being able to do that.
Yeah, and how did you come up with the idea to give the employees a 4-day work week?
It was actually my wife's idea. We were working together. This is way back in 2006, and she just said, I wonder if we could, get all of our work done in 4 days instead of 5. Who made up the rule you had to work 5 days? And we tried it, and we did it and enjoyed it.
Activity, right? It's like
Yeah.
all of the entrepreneurs, they get into their own companies and they think they're going to run business and now they're going to have so much free time, but they forget that work never stops pretty much,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, and also with the 4-day work week, that makes the employees want to work harder on the 4 days that they are working because they are so grateful that you gave them an extra day off.
Yeah, it's great. We're just trying to tell people we trust them to get the work done, and it's fun that people can work, Monday to Thursday, and then get Friday off. So it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, and as the CEO of Treehouse, you manage a really big team, and that requires you to be a great leader. I was wondering if you have any tips for young big dreamers. Like, for instance, let's say you're assigned a group project at school. If you're the leader, how do you inspire the group?
Yeah, the first thing I want to say is it's taken me a long time to learn how to be a good leader. I don't think I was a great leader in the beginning, and I've learned a lot. And a couple things I've learned is that it's really important to be helpful and kind to people. So say you're doing a project at school, what you want to do is help organize people and say, okay, these are the jobs we need to do in this project. Who would like to do, part 1, part 2, part 3? So you're kind of helping organize the group versus being their boss, right?
Yeah.
So the key there is that you are really a servant of the group, not, the boss of the group. And being a servant leader is one of the keys, I think, to being a good leader. And realizing actually you're there to support and serve your team and empower them versus, boss them around.
Yeah.
And you give them opportunity to express their creativity and to express their knowledge, so they feel like they would want to contribute more to work.
Exactly.
So that's great. So Ryan, we talked a lot about Treehouse. We talked a lot about leadership and the vision and everything, but we didn't talk much about your daily routines. I mean, a little bit about the 4 days, and that wife inspired you to have more days off with your family. What do you do on your days off with your family? What do you like to do?
So I've got 2 wonderful kids, 7 and 9. They're 2 boys. So we do a lot of funny things. They like to be pulled around our house on a blanket. So we do.
That's the same as my baby sister.
So we do a lot of that, which is really fun. We do a lot of reading as a family. So we're a big reading family, which is kind of fun. We like to light the fire and get all cozy and snuggle up and read in blankets, and do a lot of Lego. which is a lot of fun. And we do some yard work. So we're trying to teach the kiddos, how to work hard outside. So my wife loves gardening. So we do a lot of garden work, which my boys do not like. But we have to do it anyway. And it's just so hard to give people your undivided attention today, with our phones always being around. So I'm working a lot at trying to set my phone down when I'm not working so I can really focus on my kids and my wife.
One of the things that we put as a rule in our family, and it probably will help a lot of our big dreamers, we created sort of a contract between kids and us, parents.
Nice.
Kids have their things to do, like, Sophia is very little. She's 3.
She has nothing to do. All she has to do is play. I do the laundry. I pick up my dog's poop. I set up table, clear off the table, make my lunch for the next day of school, make my bed, clean my room, clean the playroom.
Nice.
So Eva has all these chores. We have, I wouldn't call them chores, right? Now they're fun.
I'd call them chores.
You do? Well, I just
They're chores. Come on.
They can be fun. Come on.
And then at the end, I get to spend 30 minutes with my parents.
Yeah, 30 minutes each.
Most of the time, my dad falls asleep with my baby sister.
Because
nice.
It doesn't matter how much attention you give kids during the day. They don't consider it all in time, like their undivided attention, as if it's their own, and you don't get distracted by other kids, by the phone, and this and that. So we also have 2 kids, and we decided, okay, 30 minutes for each, just like undivided attention, what they want to do. Like
that's great.
They want to watch TV, which is rare. Usually it's playing games or something. And then we spend time as a family. So 2-3 hours, if they know it's their time, they feel, Eva, tell us, how do you feel?
I feel really happy. Yeah. For my baby sister, she's mostly wanting to watch TV. But for me, I like to play games with my mom and dad, read, and sometimes we watch a little bit of a movie, 30 minutes of a movie.
But then
Now
they
that-
feel it's 100% of their attention, and they don't fight for it during the day or don't nag or act up, because...
Gosh, that's a great idea. I love that.
Time, so maybe that will help you and other big dreamers out there who also feel, with the phones, it's like that time, no phone, nothing, no one
I love it.
Not even siblings can distract, right?
I love it. That's a great tip. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And if you have 4 kids, you could the other 2 could be getting ready for bed, while the other 2 could be spending time with you.
Yeah.
Love it. That's
Ryan,
great.
I was wondering if you go back in time and talk to your 10-year-old self, what would be the best advice for you?
Boy, that's a good question. So I know for sure what I'd say. I would go back in time and say that discipline to do daily boring work was the only key to success. And here's what I mean by that. So I played basketball when I was a kid. I'm tall, I'm athletic, kind of made sense. But I wasn't willing to put in the practice. I just wasn't willing to do it. And that kind of mentality is something I only recently got over, where I realized, what? No one can do anything great unless they're willing to do the daily boring work day after day after day, year after year after year. There's just no other way. So I think I would tell myself that, hey, once you find something you're very passionate about, you need to accept that you're just going to have to do the work every day, and you're not going to want to do the work every day, but that is the whole point. So.
And you did mention before that your big why kind of pulling you forward and
Yeah.
motivates you, even if it's boring work, but you can have your big why. Why am I doing it? What's my mission in life, or with this work, or with this big project? What is kind of big why? Maybe when you're a young big dreamer, you go and celebrate at Disneyland or something, right? You get good grades. If you're a big dreamer, right? and you have a project in front of you, just think of the mission of that project and how it's going to help other people to improve their lives, their businesses, their health, their
Yep.
relationship.
Yep. And what I do sometimes, I look at someone who has done something great, and then I actually try to go back to the first thing they ever did. For instance, Jeff Bezos, I recently saw a picture of him when he first started, and he was in this dingy little office, and on the wall was this banner that he had hung that said Amazon.com. And it was just a reminder, when Amazon started, it wasn't great. It wasn't good. And it was just it was depressing. It was small, right?
Yeah.
And I think we think that if what we're doing isn't big right away, we're doing it wrong. And what I've learned is there is no other way to do something big except for start at zero and be bad at it for a long time. And then eventually you put enough work and you start to become good at it. But then you still doubt yourself. I've been a CEO now for more than, 10 years, and I still doubt myself as a CEO. So that feeling never goes away. So you just have to get comfortable with it.
Yeah, and Ryan, for you, what does it mean to be successful?
Ooh, that's a good question. I'm really lucky to have a healthy body. My limbs are all intact. I can see, I can smell, I can hear. And then I'm really lucky to have a wife I love and kids, that I love that are healthy. So I'm really lucky to have those kind of basic things already. So on top of that, I think success for me is believing that my work matters. And thankfully, this is why I'm so happy I feel like my work at Treehouse truly matters. So I would encourage, all the big dreamers out there that are listening to work towards that thing that you believe matters. And once you find it, it may not make you very much money. It may not make you famous. It may not be exciting to other people, but if you believe it matters, and you can pay your bills and survive, you will be happy.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Thank you
Yeah.
for sharing.
And for our very last question, where can our audience find more about you and Treehouse?
Oh, thanks for asking. So you can find me on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook as Ryan Carson. So just search for RyanCarson. That's me. And you can find Treehouse by just Googling Treehouse, and we're the #1 result. We have a free trial, so you can try us for free. And I encourage you to do it. There are a lot of kids that use Treehouse and can be successful at that. So you can also try it. And it'd be fun to meet you all. Say hi on social media if you're on social media. So thanks a lot.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Ryan. It's so inspiring, and I would encourage big dreamers, first of all, to believe in your dreams, to take action. And as we learned from interview with Ryan, overnight success is just a thing of the media. Overnight success, before it happens, years and years persistence and hard work and believing in yourself and in your dreams. And if you have doubts, you can find people around you for sure who believe in you, who will encourage you, who will support you, who will push you forward.
Yeah.
If you're stuck, right?
Amen.
And if your work matters, it is important. Keep going. Keep reaching.
Yeah,
for your
and
dreams
again,
take action.
and again, like my mom said, people will believe in you, but you have to believe in yourself too.
Amen. That's the hard part.
And if you want to help other people, but you need help yourself first, you need to help yourself. Then you can help other people.
Amen.
It's
This
true.
has been a lot of fun. Thanks so much for having me on the show.
Thank you so
Thank
much, Ryan,
you.
and we'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good. Take care. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Bye. That was so much fun chatting with Ryan, and it's great to see that you can be very successful in business and still make time for your priorities. Be sure to check out our show notes at dreambigpodcast.com/83 for links to Ryan's website and everything else we discussed in the episode. Also, as my mom mentioned, we currently have a limited time offer for the first 100 people who fill out our survey at dreambigpodcast.com/survey. My parents and I are having so much fun designing and creating this course, and we really would love to get your feedback so we can make sure we create something that will truly make an impact. On a separate note, if you would like one of our customized Dream Big journals, customized with your face and name as an astronaut, then go to dreambigpodcast.com/journal to claim your free journal while supplies are still available. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Eva Cartman reminding you that you have unlimited potential. Your dreams are not optional. You need to make them essential. So take massive action to turn those big dreams into reality. Live with passion, the way life is meant to be. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye!